Brisbane Winter Carnival yesterday. Max Presnell joins us here in Sydney. Max, a big decision for the BTC. They looked at one stage. They were probably trying to transfer this meeting to Tuesday.
Yes, it was very wet in Brisbane, David, and I do think the state of the tracks was an Australia-wide topic yesterday. Apart from Doomben, where it was obviously very, very damp indeed, the movable rail at Caulfield was 15 metres out, which may not be a record, but it's getting close to it. And remarkably at Rose Hill, despite perfect weather, a lot of good judges maintained it was no good on the fence. So the tracks took the spotlight away from the horses.
Well, Keith Elliott standing by down in Melbourne. Keith, I was going to mention how clean cut you look today. Looking at Max Presnell, looks like the 1956 Bodgie, but the very clean cut haircut, I believe, though, a little birdie tells me it was a result of a barbecue, is that right?
Yeah, just exploded in the face, nothing more than that, David. Thanks a lot.
Well, I've got no excuse for
David, how would that affect his hair? He's put his toupee on the oven, that's what's...
I didn't think you were into hair jokes, David.
No, I'm not. I'm staying right out of this one, Keith, I can tell you. Yesterday, Chief De Beers, yesterday showing how much he likes the Doomben track, but he's never won away from there.
Yes, he's had 18 runs at Doomben, 12 wins and 6 minor placings. Yesterday, it was the aptly named Foster's Cup. Chief De Beers wins. He was a 7-4 favourite. He had everything in his favour yesterday because he loves the wet, monopolised, storms home, gets very close to him at the end. But he can handle dry too, Chief De Beers. He won the Doomben 10,000 last year. I wonder whether he can do it back-to-back, Max.
No, I wonder. I'll be gambling against him. He's a very good racehorse, but I wonder just how much the ploy of Mick Dittman in scouting for the really good ground out wide, how much that contributed to yesterday's win. I like the run of Gold Ace. We know he's good, but we never knew just how good he was on a heavy track before. He wouldn't have been as seasoned for those conditions as Chief De Beers, and given any sort of a surface, I want to be on Gold Ace next time.
Well, the three could probably shape up again in the 10,000, so that should be an absorbing clash, but you'd go towards the Freedman horse?
Yeah, the 3-year-old. I do think there's more scope for improvement there. Chief De Beers, very good racehorse. Monopolised too will get better. But I don't know. I think on his day, Gold Ace is something special.
Well, the rail out 15 metres yesterday, but it didn't affect Sir Boom.
No, it didn't, David, and Sir Boom's a consistent galloper. It may have affected the favourite, though. Rubidium, reports after the race was that she slipped early. I don't think she liked racing inside horses either. The end result was she finished way out the back. But this is one of our most consistent pre-winter gallopers, Sir Boom. There's probably another race or two like this ahead of him. That's Shystad falling home. Don't be sucked in. He does it invariably, but he doesn't win. He runs on as though you'd want to be on him next start, but then he'll let you down next start. Sir Boom, a horse to follow because he's so consistent.
How did you assess the track conditions at Caulfield yesterday, Keith?
It favoured those who raced close to the lead, but it favoured those off the rail. Max, I know you're having a shot at the rail being out 15 metres, and that's because we've had substantial and expensive track work done at Caulfield. It's still consolidating. It's a sort of track work that the AJC is saving up to do in a year's time.
Oh, the pain, the little barb.
He sounded genuine there too, didn't he?
Oh, yes, he always does.
Now, someone who was genuine yesterday too was John Hawkes, very critical of the ride of Larry Cassidy.
Yes, Larry Cassidy made a lot of use of Seeker, a 3-year-old with 57 on her back. I certainly thought that Seeker was a good run under the circumstances. Like Hawkes, I figure if Cassidy had have given Seeker any sort of rest in the run, that she probably would have won. And she's definitely a horse to follow. She's racing very well, and being a 3-year-old too, she'll get a bit better. We
might go to that race from yesterday. Tripping, I was very happy that the young fellow saw a dive through on the post, Keith, because after 6 or 7 weeks of very bad betting, I had a bit of success on this yesterday.
With Tripping at double-figure odds too, we did acknowledge Tripping as a potential staying filly. Is this going to be her caper now, Max, the shorter distances?
I think that she's handy, but that's Seeker in front now, and as I said before, Cassidy has made a lot of use of her in a very fast-run race. He's got well off the rail. I do know that Tripping is coming along closer to the fence, but Tripping too, she's about 4 or 5 off the fence.
Big decision for Clary Connors now, Keith, coming up with the Adelaide Oaks coming up, and also the Brisbane Oaks with the Queensland Oaks with Tripping.
Yes, she wasn't far behind the best of them, and I think that both of those races you mentioned, David, the South Australian and Queensland Oaks, would be within her scope.
Well, Anzac Day, Keith, you want to have a look at one race here involving 2 stablemates and one to watch.
David, never make that mistake again. That's Keith over there without the hair. Now, with the white colours, and about 10th place now is Ma Wiener. That's the stablemate sword in front. I'd like you to note the way that Ma Wiener gets to the line, gives the front runner about 10 lengths start, and there it is for Shane Dye charging down the outside. Eventually will be beaten around about a length.
Now, Max had a blue, David, with Shelley Hancock's on 3UZ here in Melbourne. Shelley's a part owner of Sword. Max tipped Sword, yet he was saying to Shelley that it shouldn't have won. They had a decent argument yesterday.
Well, Ma Wiener undoubtedly should have won, Keith, but the fact is that Ma Wiener was poleaxed shortly after the start, and I think that poleaxe cost Ma Wiener more than a length. We got the money, we're laughing, but from the future point of view, Ma Wiener is the one.
But
Max,
Keith, he would have been in a bad mood on Anzac Day anyway, because his side, South Sydney, conceded their 250th point in 6 games, Keith.
That's right. You know what this is, Max? This is a book titled Should Have Wons. It says Steinvita should have won, but it put its foot in the hole. Naturalism should have won the Cox Plate, but it fell. And it goes on and on. Do you know something, Max? Nobody reads it.
Yeah, Keith, it looks like it's had plenty of use. That looks like a 50-year-old book. Naturalism went around 3 or 4 years ago. Congratulations on the prop.
Well, it's volume 1 of 14,227, Max.
Well, you've got your little black book too, Max, and that's something we should look at.
And this is something that Keith pays plenty of attention to. And I do suggest that Gold Ace will win in the near future. I do think that Seeker is worth another chance. And, of course, Keith, Ma Wiener. Don't you be off it.
I'll be with you, Max.
And what about your side, the Swans? 3 in a row, Keith, and you're laughing.
Oh, those red and white Angels, aren't they good?
How are they his side? Did he get onto the... He's got one after the 3 wins, they're now his side.
Well, that's more than South have had. Max, thanks for joining us again this morning. We'll take a break. More to come on Sportsworld, and you're watching the Olympic Network.